This illustration deals with free air as applied to conductors. NEC Article 100 defines what is considered free air. Notice the overhead conductors to the right by the building. Notice that they do have to have a vertical clearance of 8 foot 6 inches by NEC 225.19A. Out horizontally, notice we need a 3 foot clearance, but they're considered free air conductors. Now you would have to go back and review and say, well, now is there an overcurrent device ahead of these conductors, making that a feeder? Then we know then that they would belong to the owner. And notice, if you review to the overcurrent protection devices at the first pole, 225.30B deals with that. And then notice these conductors that are in open air, Article 100, 225.11, is stated there with free air conductors there by the meter to the connecting to the weatherhead. Now, I would like first to point out that free air tables is 319 and 21. But to install these overhead conductors, you would have to go to Article 399, which is listed in the also information. And those overhead conductors, if my memory serves me right, can only be done by professional electrical engineers or professional engineer in the particular state where these overhead conductors are installed. Then notice a thing that's been a problem for many years is where you were in an area and it was all open, and you didn't have conductors and conduits or in trenches covered up and so forth. Then they're saying that you could have a free air termination there. And then, of course, you would consider these conductors, how they were routed, were they overhead, were they in conduit? And you could say, yeah, all this non-metallic supports that you see to the vault area where it's free air, these conductors are in a, say in an open ditch area that was open. It's not a ditch, it'd be more like concrete, but it was free air and they could dissipate their heat real easy, and they were in a protected area. Then notice, free air, you could use the free air, but if these were in conduit, now you're going to have to compare. After you derate here, would they still be okay to be free air calculated there? So we would go to the open or ventilated air confinement area that is considered free air. Now, next I would like to review our notes, and note 1 says 3 foot requirement from edge of roof does not apply to 1,000 volt or less overhead drop conductors per 225.19A exception 4. And then when we go down to item number 2, it talks about the 3 foot requirement does not apply to this drop here according to 225.19A exception 4. The note 3 up here talks about the 3 foot where it would apply per 225.19A exception 4. And then, of course, for these overhead conductors here, we would see the NEC table 310.17. So basically, you see the also see on the roof area here, flat roof to the right. Those are the tables where free air ampacities are based upon certain types of conductors. But what they tried to do was to give you a definition of areas that were considered free air, so we would know how to calculate the loads, and then if they were in conduits, direct buried in the earth, then we would have to take a look at that according to our table 310.16 in the new 2020 NEC.